Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Huskers in Enemy Territory. Today, I was going to do a season preview for the Illinois Fighting Illini. Um, Today, we're going to talk about the Fighting Illini, and it'll be their season football preview. So, I'm going to start doing season preview videos for all the Big Ten teams to kind of sprinkle in with Nebraska versus whatever team and Minnesota Vikings versus whatever team videos throughout the weeks ahead. And this will be the first team that I picked just because I had a friend, Hawkeye Matt, talk about it on Twitter. And a few other of my friends on YouTube and Twitter have done some of these videos. And I thought it would be kind of a fun way to get to the beginning of the football year. Um, and I kind of picked Illinois first just because they play Nebraska first in the beginning of the season. So I just felt like it would be the best team to go with. Um, we're going to go with kind of a deep dive into where some of the deficiencies and some of their strengths are as a team overall. Some of the strengths of the Illini are the offensive line and the running game. Uh, should be some of the major pluses of their team, especially with returning running back Chase Brown. He'll be a sophomore this year. And they also have a kid named Reggie Love the third. He's a freshman. So hopefully they can get some good production out of those guys. They also have Isaiah Gray and Owen Carney. They have the probably the best chance to shine with the new defensive scheme. The Illini also return a lot of experience on the back end of the secondary with a sophomore, senior, and two juniors in the backfield. Um, Now, kind of moving on to some of the potential problems or deficiencies. Um, depth overall as a whole for the team is a problem for the Illini, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I know I've talked about some of the that there being some strengths there as well, but in terms of like rotational guys on the defensive line, some of the players at linebacker, there are some holes there. So Brett Bielema is gonna have to kind of go after that in the recruiting aspect of the football team or whatever in the next few years, just to kind of maybe secure a better depth on their team. Also, one of the biggest holes they'll have is at wide receiver. The group is kind of unproven, especially after the losing Josh Im Torah Bihibi. Man, I hope that I did not slaughter that, but I think he ended up going to the NFL. So don't quote me on that. I couldn't really find anything in my little season preview magazine that I just picked up, but so they just said that he was a loss. So maybe some of my Illini followers on Instagram and Twitter can kind of give me a little bit of insight on him. Also, they said that the quarterback, Peters, Brandon Peters, has been super inconsistent. So that'll be one issue that Brett Bielema will have to kind of contend with going forward with the Illini. So now let's get into the schedule. Um, Initially, I had them going 2-10 overall and 0-9 in the Big Ten. Um, Now, kind of let's look at the schedule once again. Um, I think their ceiling is 6-6. Um, And initially, as I said before, I had them going 2-10 and 0-9 in the Big Ten. I think their floor is still that 2-10 and 0-9 in the Big Ten. But I kind of wrote down all the losses and wins. So I have them losing on October or August 28th to the Huskers. I also had them losing to the University of Texas, San Antonio, just because I ended up reading a little bit about Texas San Antonio, and they did really well last year. They went 7-5, and apparently they returned the majority of their players on both sides of the ball. And the prediction in the book that I picked up has them contending for I believe they're in the WAC, and they believe that they could possibly win the WAC next year. So that's why I have them as a loss to Texas San Antonio. I also have them losing to Virginia just because Virginia went 5-5 last year, and the game will be in Virginia. So I have that as a loss. September 18th, I have them playing Maryland. They went 2-3 last year. I have that as a loss, just because Tua's brother will be in his, I believe, third year under that head coach, and I just feel like the continuity and whatnot and consistency of playing in the same offense is going to really help Maryland beat the Illini in that game. On September 25th, the game is in Purdue, but I have the Illini beating Purdue just because of a lot of the question marks that Purdue has at their quarterback position and some of the key positions that they have lost. And I've actually spoke on Purdue in previous videos, so if you want to kind of look at that, you can. I also have them winning at Charlotte. Charlotte went 2-4 last year, so I don't know. I just didn't really look much into Charlotte. I just gave them the Illini the win there. I have them losing to Wisconsin on October 9th. Wisconsin went 4-3 last year, so you'd have to think that Wisconsin might have went, 8-4 probably overall if we had the full schedule. October 23rd, it's at Penn State. Penn State went 4-5 last year, but I have the Illini losing there. October 30th, the game is in Illinois in Champaign versus Rutgers. I have them losing there. Rutgers went 3-6 last year, but they have a returning senior in Verdal, and they have a lot of good pieces there going to Rutgers. So I have them losing to Rutgers. November 6th is at Minnesota. Minnesota's always tough. I have them losing to Minnesota. November 20th at Iowa. Dude, there's no way. Iowa went 6-2 last year. I have that as a loss. And November 27th at or in Illinois, Champaign versus Northwestern. Northwestern went 7-2 last year. I have that as a loss as well. So that's their I'm going to have that as their floor, right? So let's go back now and say, what will it be if they have the ceiling? So I still have them losing to Nebraska. I'll give them the San Antonio, the University of Texas versus San Antonio. Let's say that's a win. So there's a win there. I'll give them the win at Virginia. So that's 2. I'll give them a win at Maryland. Also, I already gave them the win at Purdue and Charlotte. So that's 4 wins. I'm still having them lose to Wisconsin. I'm still having them lose to Penn State. I'll give them Rutgers. I'll still have them lose to Minnesota. I'll still have them lose to Iowa, but I'll have them win at Northwestern. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, actually 7. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's say if everything works out perfect, I'm going to go 7 and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 and 5. So 7 and 5 is their ceiling. If everything plays out, perfectly, they're able to, hit on every cylinder. So 7 and 5 is their ceiling, but man, it's hard to see 7 wins with this team. It's kind of like that. It's that weird thing, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to be completely honest here, you know, give an honest take on the Fighting Illini. So I'm gonna go 7 and 5 if everything's perfect. That's their ceiling. 2 and 10 is probably their floor. If just they're not able to figure everything out, and you know just sometimes when you get a first year head coach, look at Nebraska, man. They went 4 and 8, so it's possible that things don't work out that first year for Brett Bielema, which is unfortunate considering that the Illini have kind of been in the basement for a while, and you hate to see that for these teams, but it's kind of the way it is with some of these football teams. Look at Kansas, you know what I mean? They're just a bottom dweller for the entire time they've been a football team, maybe other than when they had Sayers, Gale Sayers. He was a badass, but yeah, I'm kind of going on a tangent now, but I'm known for that. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. What your guys' prediction is for the Fighting Illini. I did have a lot of fun with this. I am glad that I picked up this magazine. It has Adrian Martinez on it, so it was kind of a nice little incentive to pick up the magazine. But I was looking for a second one, but I couldn't find it at Barnes & Noble, so maybe I'll have to look on the internet and try and get another magazine for my next future video, which will be Rutgers, I believe. Yeah, so I had a lot of fun. I'll probably be doing these on Friday. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm sitting at 83 subscribers now. Remember, at 100 subscribers, I'll be giving away some stickers, maybe a t-shirt, or maybe even a hat. So we can kind of hash that out once I hit 100 subscribers. But thank you for watching, and as always, go Big Red.